And many of you may think automation or technologies is best used to solve like low-hanging fruit. I mean, it is not wrong. Like low-hanging fruit are certainly much easier to resolve by certain finance or accounting technologies out there. However, even for very, very complicated situations, you can still do all sorts of automations using the technologies available to you. So I want to show you a couple of examples, and like because I'm a revenue accounting expert, I want to show you a very complicated revenue recognition calculation example. So after ASC 606 becomes live, a lot of companies are in limbo, especially the revenue accounting department, because 606 is not very intuitive. So it requires the companies to allocate the contract price based on the relative fair values of the POBs. It sounds simple, however, the fair value or SSPs of those POBs changes year by year, and also whenever there's a contract change, your allocation will change. And depends on how contract changes, your allocation may change prospectively or retrospectively. And certain things like concessions or discounts can become a variable consideration as part of the contract. And certain financings are provided to the customer that actually may account for a discount to the contract price has a financing component. So there are all sorts of very complicated calculations involved when it comes to revenue accounting. And for a long time, right, people build very, very complicated spreadsheet to accommodate for those scenarios. So today, I actually going to show you a very good spreadsheet, in my opinion. It can accommodate contract modifications. It can accommodate associated warranties and prospectively for prospective contract mod and retrospective contract mod, as well as variable considerations. But the spreadsheet is so complicated that to the point like you wonder how could any auditor is able to audit this, right? So on the screen, I'm showing a model in Excel for 606, and on the screen here, if I zoom in a little, this is basically a journal entry template generated from this Excel model, right? So we're not looking at all other areas of the Excel, which is much more complicated, but we're just looking at the journal entry template. So this journal entry template, if I click the debit side, and I want to show you how hard it is to compute the debit amount of the journal entry. And this is the formula. Um, if I hope you are never going to be an auditor or reviewer for this kind of spreadsheet because it is almost impossible, right? And plus it is very unreliable. I'm not criticizing this spreadsheet, by the way. This model is one of the best Excel models I have seen for 606, period. But at some point you wonder, this is probably beyond what Excel can do, right? And for that, what I did, I developed a Python-based program to automate the entire 606 process, calculation process. Um, Also leveraging Excel as my input, and then basically using a local SQL database as the output and the calculation engine to make it work. So I want to show you how easily it is to have some of the desktop program to do those kind of complicated calculations. So let me open up eRev. And like I said, eRev is essentially Python. I built this program based on Python last year. And before I show you how easily it can be done, let me reset the database. calculation is basically can be managed by 4 input templates. So if I go to templates here, and it's really just for contract setup, I have a contract setup template, which is a very simple one. And that's it. Like basically for contract setup, I only need those fields to be filled out, or and you can basically build export the data based on those columns. And this is contract setup. And then I have fair value setup, and those are the fair value setups here. So it's very simple compared to a very complicated Excel model like this. And I want to show you some of my UAT files and to show you how easily this can be done. Like just for SSPs as example, like you can easily set up what's your SKUs of the company, distinct or non-distinct, uh, list price of the SKU, and the midpoint discount percentage for the fair value, and also the fair value range. And you can, because fair value changes every year, you can tell the system, how which is SSP versions for those fair values you listed here, and what's the related revenue account related to the product you are selling. So those are very simple templates you just need to manage. And then using eRev, what I'm able to do is I can load those templates. I can go ahead, load my SSP templates, and just loaded the SSPs into a local database. And then I can load contracts. And I can load, I believe I set out 4 contracts in 2 different templates. I can load those delivery and billings. I can load my deliveries for the period of January 2023, prospect mod and retrospective contract mod, or POB specific variable considerations if I wanted to. And then after I did that, a calculation is already done. So if I go to the latest, upload it, and at the bottom, at the end, you can actually see I actually have a process log. And this is the process log. Basically, for each of the operation I did, there is a timestamp stamped on that record. So this becomes very audit friendly, and you can exactly observe what you did at what time. And all the allocations are done for you after as soon as you upload the contract template. Basically, allocation is essentially completed for you. And then the journal entries, similarly for the journal entry, you can export the gross revenue journal entries here. Um, and I can export the range of the journal entries. January based on my delivery, and the journey entries is also by the contract and also the POBs of the contract as well. So, uh, and this is how easy it is to leverage a desktop program to automate like very complicated ASC 606, and all those can be done in Python. And similarly, if you have other very complicated calculations, don't be scared, right? Don't be scared. You only need to take step by step to resolve those issues, and then eventually you will end up with a very good program sometimes you build to resolve your issues. Or there are outside of, or if you don't want to build yourself, there definitely always are cloud-based solutions other people developed that made available to you. Like for 606, there are a lot of vendors out there like RedPearl from Zora, RedRev, and SoftRex. They are all very good cloud-based solutions out there. So it depends on your need. Don't be scared building automations using a variety of technologies available to you to resolve complicated calculation scenarios. Thank you, guys.